Hello everyone, my name is Marie Carell. I'm the Director of Planet Architecture, and I would like to show you today a house that I designed for my husband and I in Melbourne, and we've been living there for the last 5 years. The house is a 7.7 energy rating, which is actually exactly twice the energy efficiency of 6 stars. So it's not a linear scale, as you can imagine. This is the front of the house. So just to give you an idea, this faces west here. This is the street here in front of us. This faces west. We've got a driveway leading to another house at the rear, which allows us to have a private garden or courtyard on the north side, which is what you want. And as an aside, we've got a very productive, this was in the early days, but we've got a very productive vegetable garden here at the front, which has been always a point of conversation with passers-by. So inside, this is the courtyard I was telling you about. So we've got a large deck and large 2.7 meter high bifolds. What it does, they're all, of course, double glazed. Make sure you've got at least 12 mil gap between the two panes of glass, not the 8 or 10 mil that you find in the cheaper doors or windows. But because they are quite high, it's a 3 meter ceiling height, they're allowed to penetrate. It allows in the winter, particularly when the sun is quite low in Melbourne at 29 degrees off the horizon, allows the sun to penetrate deeply into the house. So I'll show you another photo where you can see how far it goes. Now this is here, the upper floor that sticks out forward of the front floor, the ground floor. And what it does is it allows for good shading, in fact, literally, of the whole height of the door there in the summer. And that is because the sun, of course, in summer is 76 degrees to the horizon, which means that, you know, it doesn't take much of an eave. This eave is essentially 750 millimeter wide. So this is the width of these doors I was telling you about. And if you look at this coffee table there, the sun in winter gets right to the back there, and in summer finishes right here. Also wanting to point out those two windows here face south, and this one here, that's the opening sash, and this one there, when we open them in the summer, they actually provide fantastic ventilation for the whole ground floor, and they don't need to be very big. This is a casement that actually hinges here and opens here, which allows to funnel the northwest breezes, which we tend to have in Melbourne. And because of its location, it actually ventilates both floors very effectively. This is another view, again, more of the same, north facing here. Just wanted to highlight here the use of recycled timber. There was a house sitting on the land that we demolished and reclaimed all the floorboards, and they've been used quite extensively in the whole house. Again, more of these floorboards here, and that's the window I was telling you about that does a good job at cross ventilation. This is the master bedroom. Again, more of that timber there, and it faces east, which is a lovely light for any bedroom, as well as north when you can put a bedroom in a corner. That is ideal. So it's perfect orientation for this particular bedroom. The whole house, by the way, has got all the rooms that are habitable. So we're not talking laundry, bathroom or anything like that, but all the habitable rooms bar one bedroom, and it's a 4-bedroom house. All the rooms have a north-facing window. This is an ensuite, faces east. Just note how lovely it is, or you can imagine how nice it is to have those windows here, that those towels here, that get naturally warmed up and stay dry because of sitting behind that window. That's actually quite a lovely feature. It was not intended, but that's how it worked out. And I've been using this device a number of times since. And here, yes, these showers are fashionable in a way, but they're also very low maintenance. And between the fact that, you know, there's good natural light in here, low maintenance shower, we have had no mold at all developing in the last 5 years. This is a toilet, the main toilet on the ground floor. So the water comes from the rainwater tank. And we also have here on top of the cistern, we have a little basin. What the basin does is when you flush, of course, the cistern gets empty and there's fresh water coming from the tank. Before it comes to fill the cistern, it actually travels through the tap here and you can wash your hands with it. So that means the next person who uses the toilet will effectively flush with the water that you've used to wash your hands. So it's effectively not only using rainwater, but grey water. So it's a very smart Caroma system. Just to point out two things as well. The first is this is the insulation that sits under the hydronic pipes. So if you put your hydronic pipes in the structural slab, you will find that the slab's not very reactive, and you also, to changes of temperature, you're also wasting a lot of energy that should actually go inside the house rather than inside the footings or the ground. So always, as a matter of course, if we have hydronic pipes, make sure that we've got the slab. This insulation goes on top, which is also called a tracking board. The coils go around those pins in effectively tracks, and then you pour an 80 mil thick concrete or cement screed, which actually acts as the thermal mass. So it's much more reactive, uses less power, and is much more economical. There's no waste of power there. And this bottom view is that of the hot water system. So it's a heat pump, which means it's all electric, and it uses 1 kilowatt hour to operate a pump for the refrigerant. And with that, it extracts 4 kilowatts out of the atmosphere. That means it's the most economical system you can think about, except for maybe solar, which is on a par. Solar hot water is on a par, but on the other hand, this is a lot more sturdy system. You can't get it damaged with, you know, wind, hail, or whatever. And just to let you know, there is a tank which is associated with this, which sits behind this fence. So it's a 300-litre tank. Now, just a recap of energy and water use. So we use green power. We've got about a use of 240 kilowatts a month in average, varies a bit in winter and summer. And the average cost per month is $75. The gas, we actually have a gas boiler for the hydronic heating. There are heat pumps, excuse me. There are heat pumps these days that could be used, but that's what we have there. It's only used in the winter, mind you, and it uses about 200 megajoules per day. And the average cost is $110 per heating month, so which is about 6 months in Melbourne, unfortunately. Water, we use town water. We also have a 2,500-litre rainwater tank. Our consumption of town water is about 100 litre per day per person, which is in average about $25 a month. And that's for all the three of us living here. So the total average monthly cost in water and energy is $155, given that it's $110 6 months a year and $0 here for 6 months a year. And these costs do not include service charges, which vary obviously from one supplier to the next. So that is the end of my presentation, and thanks for listening.